Imagine this. You're in a conversation with someone and suddenly, nothing makes sense. You remember what was said, but somehow, they convince you it never happened. You start doubting yourself, questioning your memory, and before you know it, you're apologizing for something they did. Sounds familiar? You might be dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists don't argue like normal people. They twist reality, play the victim, and use psychological tricks to break you down while making you think it's your fault. And the worst part? They've perfected their manipulation so well that most victims don't even realize it until it's too late. Today, we're exposing the top 7 manipulation tactics narcissists use to control their victims. From gaslighting to future faking, these tactics are designed to trap you in a cycle of self-doubt and dependence. By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these tactics, but you'll also know exactly how to protect yourself before they can pull you deeper into their web. These tactics are sneaky, calculated, and designed to break you down over time. But once you see the patterns, you'll never fall for them again. So if you're ready to spot the red flags, defend yourself, and take back your power, let's dive in. Gaslighting is one of the most insidious manipulation tactics narcissists use. It's a psychological warfare technique designed to make you doubt your own reality. A narcissist will say something cruel, then later deny ever saying it. If you bring up a past conversation, they'll insist, "That never happened, you're imagining things." Over time, this constant distortion of reality makes you question your own memory, perception, and even sanity. You might start second-guessing yourself. Am I overreacting? Maybe I'm being too sensitive. And that's exactly what they want. The more confused and self-doubting you become, the easier you are to control. Some victims even begin apologizing for things they didn't do, just to avoid conflict. The best way to counter gaslighting? Trust your own reality. Keep screenshots, write things down, and don't let them redefine what happened. When someone constantly denies your truth, it's not a misunderstanding, it's manipulation. If a person makes you doubt your own memory more than your gut tells you is normal, that's a red flag you can't ignore. No one should have the power to rewrite your reality. One day, they treat you like the most incredible person in the world, showering you with compliments, affection, and attention. The next, they're cold, distant, or even cruel. This is the love bombing and devaluation cycle, one of the most addictive manipulation tactics narcissists use to gain control. At first, they bombard you with love, grand gestures, constant texting, and over-the-top praise. It feels like a fairy tale. They mirror your dreams, tell you everything you want to hear, and make you feel like you've finally found the one. But once they have you emotionally hooked, the mask slips. They start to withdraw, criticize, or even punish you, making you desperate to win back the perfect version of them you first met. Ever had someone love you intensely then suddenly change? You might start wondering, did I do something wrong? Why are they pulling away? That's exactly what they want. This cycle creates emotional addiction, keeping you trapped in their game. Over time, you'll find yourself chasing their approval, even if it means accepting toxic behavior. Real love isn't a roller coaster of extreme highs and lows. If someone's affection feels too good to be true at first, then suddenly disappears, take a step back. Watch for patterns, not just words. And remember, genuine love grows steadily. It doesn't play mind games or keep you guessing. Triangulation is a divide-and-conquer strategy narcissists use to manipulate people by bringing a third person into the dynamic. They use this tactic to make you feel insecure, compete for their approval, or doubt your own perception. Instead of addressing an issue directly, they'll compare you to someone else. Say, well, my ex never acted like this, or bring in a neutral third party to validate their twisted version of reality. This creates tension and makes you fight for their attention or validation, keeping them in control. Imagine your partner constantly praising a coworker's looks or success while downplaying yours. Or maybe your boss always talks about how much better your coworker performs, making you feel replaceable. Or worse, when you confront a narcissist about their behavior, suddenly other people agree with them. Except, those people might not even know the full story. They use triangulation to make you feel isolated, question yourself, and seek their approval more than ever. The longer this goes on, the more powerless you feel. When a narcissist involves a third party to undermine you or create jealousy, recognize it for what it is: manipulation. Don't play the game. Set boundaries, refuse to compete, and trust your instincts over their manufactured drama. No one should make you feel like you have to earn your worth. Silence isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it's a weapon. The silent treatment and stonewalling are classic narcissistic tactics used to punish, control, and manipulate. Instead of resolving conflicts like healthy adults, narcissists shut down, withdraw, and refuse to engage, forcing you into emotional distress. Silent treatment is deliberate neglect. They ignore your calls, texts, or presence. Stonewalling, on the other hand, is when they refuse to communicate at all, giving you short answers, changing the subject, or acting like you don't exist. Both tactics are designed to make you beg for their attention and doubt your own worth. Ever had an argument and suddenly they vanish? No texts, no calls, no explanation. You rack your brain wondering, did I say something wrong? That's the point. Their silence is psychological warfare, meant to make you feel guilty and chase after their approval. Over time, this creates anxiety and emotional dependency because you never know when they'll shut you out again. You start walking on eggshells, fearing their next silent punishment. Don't play their game. Silence is control only if you fear it. Instead of chasing them, use the time to regain your power. Surround yourself with people who communicate with respect. Healthy people talk things through. Manipulators punish with silence. Projection is one of the most infuriating manipulation tactics narcissists use. Instead of taking responsibility for their own toxic behavior, they flip the script and blame you for the very things they're guilty of. They cheat. They accuse you of being unfaithful. They lie. Suddenly, you're the dishonest one. They manipulate. Somehow, you're the controlling one. Projection is a defense mechanism that allows narcissists to avoid accountability while keeping you off balance. If they convince you that you're the problem, then suddenly their actions don't seem as bad. Ever been accused of something so ridiculous that you started questioning yourself? That's projection at work. Narcissists attack first to put you on the defensive. Instead of addressing their own actions, they make you feel like you have to prove your innocence, when in reality, you did nothing wrong. This tactic is especially dangerous in relationships. The more you defend yourself, the more they spin the narrative against you until you start wondering if you really are the problem. It's designed to break your confidence and make you doubt your own character. The key is recognition. When someone constantly accuses you of things you didn't do, pause and reflect. Are they really describing you, or are they exposing themselves? Don't absorb their guilt, return it to the sender. Stand firm in your truth. Future faking is a powerful manipulation tool narcissists use to keep you emotionally invested in a fantasy that will never come true. It's when they promise you a dream future, only to never follow through. They'll say things like, "We'll get married someday, just be patient. I promise I'll change, I just need more time. Next year we'll finally take that big trip together." The catch? The future never comes. These empty promises string you along, making you wait for something that will never happen while keeping you hooked in the relationship. Imagine you've been dating someone for years, and every time you bring up commitment, they say, "Not yet, but soon." Or maybe your boss keeps dangling a promotion in front of you, saying you just need to prove yourself a little longer. Meanwhile, nothing actually changes, but you stay, hoping it will. Future faking preys on your hope, and the longer you wait, the harder it is to walk away. Words mean nothing without action. If someone repeatedly makes promises but never delivers, stop believing their words. Judge their actions. A healthy person builds a future with you. A manipulator just talks about one. If promises never materialize, don't wait. Walk away. You've finally escaped the narcissist's grip. You've set boundaries, gone no contact, and started healing. Then suddenly, they're back. This is hoovering, a manipulation tactic named after the vacuum cleaner, because the narcissist is trying to suck you back into their control. They'll do whatever it takes to pull you back in. Fake apologies, grand gestures, even pretending they've changed. Hoovering can sound like, "I miss you, I've realized how much I love you. I've been going to therapy, I'm different now. I can't live without you. Please just give me one more chance." You block them so they email you. You ignore them, so they show up at your work. Maybe they even get friends or family to pressure you into talking. They'll cry, beg, and make promises they'll never keep, because their goal isn't love, it's control. They might even pretend to be in danger, claiming they're depressed or going through a crisis. But once you let them back in, the cycle starts all over again, only worse. Do not engage. A narcissist's apology isn't change, it's bait. No matter how convincing they sound, remember, they don't miss you, they miss controlling you. Keep your boundaries strong, stay no contact, and never let them suck you back in. If needed, seek support from friends, therapists, or even legal protection. Now that you know the 7 most dangerous manipulation tactics narcissists use, you'll never see their games the same way again. Narcissists don't change. They repeat the same patterns, but now you're armed with knowledge. When you see these tactics, don't fall for them. Set boundaries, trust your instincts, and remember, you don't owe a manipulator your energy. They will push, guilt trip, and test your limits, but the moment you recognize their game, you take back your power. If this video helped you spot the red flags, hit like and subscribe for more insights on psychology and self-protection. Drop a comment below. Have you ever experienced any of these tactics? How did you handle it? Let's talk and support each other.